So a vehicle company, they have luxury vehicles and decide that they depreciate the value by 40% a year. And after 5 years, they're done with the vehicle and then they write it off. Okay. So here's what we're doing. We're going to find the scrap value for each car. So the scrap value is the 5-year mark. How much is your car worth? So we have a car that is currently 2 years old and has this value. Okay, so 43,200 is the value of it. What is our multiplier if we depreciate by 40%? What is your multiplier? 0.6. And if we're on the 2nd year right now, but we got to get to the 5th year, we need how many more years to go? 3. Okay, so what is your car worth? Okay, so now, what is the original price of the car? So this was how much the car was worth on the 2nd year. How do we go back to figure out what was it on the first, like the very start? Times 0 years at the start. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to take the original, which we don't know, and it's depreciating this much per year. How many years did it take? And then it ended up at that. So from the original to that, what course of time would have gone by? 2 years. Does that make sense? Whatever we started with as original, depreciated for 2 years, and then it ended up like that. Okay, what kind of math would you do here? How do I get this alone? I would divide, right? Divide it out. Okay, isn't that sad? A car that started out 5 years later, worth that much. Okay, I think we're good. I'm not going to do B. It's the same thing. Are we okay with that? It's just the same example. Okay, so let's see what else we got. Okay, so we need to get a new water heater. Tom is broke, basically. He doesn't have much money. And he notices that after he makes sure he pays his expenses for the month, he only has $35 extra. So I'm going to circle that. That seems important. So he has a credit card and it charges this. So he has 2 options. He could lease it, or he could buy it with his credit card. So let's compare. Okay, so leasing. If we leased it, we could get the lease for $17.25 per month. if we did the credit card, we're doing this, and he's going to make payments on his credit card. Okay, so what am I doing if I'm making payments with my credit card? Formulas or app? App. Okay, so what do I know? Here's a cost plus installation though. So can you add that together? That's how much money. That's what we're starting our loan out as. Monthly payments of $35, so give me a negative 35 and a 12 at the bottom. Okay, now we got up here the 18.7 compounded daily. How long will it take us to pay this off? Okay, go ahead. Matching? Yep. So that's how many times he makes payments of $35. Do you understand that that's 3-ish years? Right, great, almost exactly 3, but. So give me a copy paste of ours. So, would this make sense? You basically take 3 years to pay it off, and then you're done, right? The rest of it, you own it, you can just coast. So if I am owning this for 8 years, right? This is just the cost. It would take 3 years to pay, plus 5 years like free, right? Does that make sense? Once it's paid off, you just have it. Okay, I feel like this question has very vague info. The lease, I'm assuming right now that we're going to pay this lease for 8 years. Okay, so every month, so times 12 months, times 8 years. So what kind of advice would you give this person? Obviously, this would be my instinct because it costs less. It takes you less time to be paying, right? The only thing with this, what would you tell them about this? Well, it's less monthly than $35 a month. So if you're worried about having any kind of disposable money, you don't want to use it all, maybe. Have something for fun. Okay, that kind of thing. Okay, so here we go. Lance making a construction business. So here are his options. He could lease or he could purchase. Okay, so lease. Monthly, $2,000. And a refundable damage deposit of $2,000. So we'll keep that in our back burner. Do you guys know what that means? When you rent, you have to put money before you rent, you have to pay them. Okay, most companies charge a half. So if your rent is $2,000 a month, you have to pay them $1,000 before you move in. Okay? When you move out, if everything is in good condition, they give you that back. Okay? They might take a little bit out if they had to clean the carpets or fix some paint on the wall or stuff like that. They take that away from you, but then they give the rest back. Okay? So the first rent period that you ever do is kind of crummy because you're paying a lot of money up front. So be ready for that. Okay, so he could purchase this house. So we're going to be doing an app, right? A house purchase is an app stuff. He could purchase this house, renovate it into an office. Okay, so he has to put a 5% down payment on it. So I need you to do times that. Give me a down payment. So you'd have to put $14,250. Okay, so how much would he need to borrow? What do you do for borrowing? What do you need to actually say, bank, I need this much money? What amount is that now? To get 270, 750? Subtract them, right? Okay, let's keep reading. He would do a 15-year mortgage, so give me a 15 up there, 5%, compounded semi, so give me a 2 at the bottom, and you're going to make monthly payments, so this is 12, so you need to also put 15 times 12 at the top now. Monthly payments. Remember, whatever you do for N, right, includes this. Okay, so give me a payment. How much do you have to pay per month? Okay, ready? What are the costs over the 15 years? So let's go the payment times 12 times 15. So copy and paste it, times it by 12 every month for 15 years. So I did a copy paste, I did a times by -1, So it's always negative, right? We're matching. Okay, what else came out of your pocket though? Day one, you did a down payment. Okay, so that is all the money that left my pocket over 15 years. That's how much money I've spent. But, I don't know. It sounds like he sells the house. House sale. So we're going to sell the house after these 15 years. So the house was at the start was worth $285. Something different?
I got like 6.8.
This whole thing?
Yeah.
Okay, so I did that. Copy paste my payment. Is my payment the right number?
Yeah.
Every month for 15 years. Yeah?
Yeah. That's what I got.
Plus 14,250.
What did I do before?
Did you not take away the negative?
No, I did that. I don't know why I did that either.
Did you subtract 14,250? Okay.
Maybe we did.
Did you
We might have.
subtract it?
I think so.
Yeah, I think, because if you said you got 3,600 something, that would make sense. Okay, so I'm going to sell my house, and it appreciates 2% every year. Appreciates. So what's my multiplier if it's appreciating? 1.02. Okay, remember you always start at the 100. So if you appreciate, you go over the 100. Okay, depreciation is down from the 100. And 15 years of appreciating, of going up. So here we are. We spent this much, and then we got this much back in the end. So there is a cost, right? Because this is more than that. So how much did it cost? Can you subtract those numbers now? Okay, so there's the overall cost, okay, because I took away the money that I got back at the sale, okay, and we know this about house sales, right, better than renting, because at the end of it, you have something to show for it. You have money that you can get back, okay, renting, there is no part of that, right? Okay, so leasing, so if we do this every month for 15 years, every month for 15 years. That's how much it cost me. Okay. You could say, well, it could cost you $2,000 extra because you put that on there, but you also get that back in the end, assuming obviously that you did everything nicely, right? And while living there. So I don't know. You could argue either way kind of thing, but so what do you think about leasing versus buying now? Okay. Look at their monthly. They're obviously this one is higher per month. Okay, they're close, but this one is higher per month. But in the end, again, when you buy, you get something back. You have your equity. You get something back in the end versus leasing or renting, right? That's like what I say, just throwing money out. Okay, you have nothing that you're getting back in return.